guys, so today I'm going to be doing my June TBR. I have a couple of books that I'm really planning on reading this month, and I have also a graphic novel and comic book haul. I went to my local library the other day and I picked out a bunch of books that I think are really interesting, and I want to show them to you guys and you can let me know if you've read them. So the first book I'll be reading is a book I've actually already started reading, and this is Redefining Realness by Janet Mock. And this is about Janet Mock's life and her coming to terms with herself. Janet Mock is a trans woman and she is a writer and she's an activist, and this book is about her coming to terms with her identity and talking about how she came to terms with her identity and about her early life. And I'm about 60 pages in and I'm really enjoying it so far. Her writing is absolutely beautiful and she's just a wonderful human being. I have quite a few books on my shelves that are in French and in German that I haven't read yet, and I decided that I'm going to read at least one book not in English a month. So this month I'm going to be reading a French book, and this is Kem Alaska by Anyas, and this is a Quebec classic. I have quite a few books from Quebec authors that I haven't read, and I feel really not well read in this area, so I don't quite know what this is about, but I think it takes place outside of Quebec City, and I bought this in Quebec City a couple years ago, and I'm really excited to read this. The next book is a book that was in my Big Books Phobia tag, so I'll leave a link to that down below because I've already read one book from that list this month, which was The Idiot, and in June I'm hoping to read A Fine Balance by Rohinton Mystery. This takes place in the 1970s in India. I don't know much else about it, however I heard it's a really beautiful book, and it's quite a large book, but a lot of people seem to like it, so I'm thinking it's going to be one of those really engrossing reads. And I'll be reading this with Leanne from Literary Diversions, and I'll leave a link to her channel down below. The next book I'll be reading is the group read for the Goodreads group BookTube Reading Buddies, and it is Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe by Fanny Flagg. I watched the movie based on this novel a couple of years ago and really loved it, and when I found out it was a book, I was so excited to read it, and I bought it last year and it's been waiting for me on my shelves, so I'm looking forward to reading this. This month I'll be reading Tar Baby for Read Morrison 2014. If you guys don't know what Read Morrison 2014 is, I'll leave a link down below. Last month I read Song of Solomon, and I'll leave a link to my review of that down below. I got a bunch of books, comic books, and graphic novels that I got from my local library the other day. Just so you guys know, I'm probably not going to read all of these graphic novels next month because I do have quite a few books to read. However, I do plan on reading a good chunk of these, and the ones I don't, I hope to read next month. The first book I got is Persepolis II by Marjane Satrapi, and I read Persepolis I last year, and I'll leave a link down below to my review. It's about Marjane Satrapi's teenage years, so after she came back to Iran after having lived abroad for a while, so I'm looking forward to reading this. Next, I'll be reading The Runaways, and this is by Brian K. Vaughan, and this is a compilation of the first 18 volumes. And this is about a group of teenagers who discover that their parents were evil villains and they run away, I think. I might be completely wrong, but it seems pretty good, and I'll show you guys what the art looks like. So the art looks really good too, and this is quite a chunky volumes. So the next book I have is Anyas Ghost, and Nicole's Adventures in Science Fiction recently did a review, so I'll leave a link to that down below. It's about a teenage girl from what I know. The next book I got is also a book set in Quebec, and I'm super excited, plus everyone's been talking about it, and this is Jane the Fox and Me. I got it in French, but it's available in English, and a couple people on BookTube have read it, and this is about a young girl and she's being bullied, and I guess this is how literature helps her overcome her bullying. I don't know, but the art looks really nice. I'll show you guys. And it just looks like a really nice, heartwarming story, and they actually have this displayed at my library. The final comic book that I want to show you guys is something that seems super cool. I heard about it in Ron Litt's video about the comic books she really likes, and this is Chew, and it's about a man who works for the FDA, and he can tell how his food was killed, so if he eats something he can tell how it died. I think he gets called in to help a lot of murder investigations, and he has to like lick toes and stuff, so I think that sounds really cool, and I really like the art as well. It's very dark and kind of creepy looking. And just the cover itself is really creepy, and I'm really excited to read this because it sounds incredible. That's my June TBR and comic book / graphic novel haul. If you guys have read any of these books, let me know. And if you're planning on reading any of them for this month or maybe later on in the summer, let me know as well. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.